Quantum Management, Holistic Decision-Making for Sustainable Success. Hi, let's talk about how great leaders make decisions, not just quick, isolated choices, but ones that truly consider the broader impact and lead to sustainable success. Too often, I've seen managers rush into decisions based on short-term gains, only to deal with unintended consequences later. But the best leaders I've worked with take a holistic approach, considering not just the immediate problem, but the ripple effects across teams, customers, and long-term strategy. Holistic decision-making is inspired by the principles of quantum systems, where everything is interconnected. In quantum physics, a single particle's behavior can influence another particle across vast distances. In business, it works the same way. A decision made in one area of an organization doesn't stay isolated, it affects everything around it. When leaders fail to recognize this interconnectedness, silos form, teams work against each other, and long-term risks get ignored. I've seen this firsthand with managers who focus only on immediate efficiency. They might, for example, cut costs in engineering without considering how it affects product quality, customer experience, or future technical debt. They might push aggressive deadlines without realizing that overworked teams burn out, leading to disengagement and higher turnover. A decision might look good on paper today, but create more problems down the road. A great example of holistic decision-making came from a manager I worked with, named Sarah. She led a fast-growing tech startup where leadership was pressured to scale quickly. Investors wanted rapid expansion, so the immediate response was to hire aggressively and push new features out faster. But Sarah took a step back and asked, what happens when we scale too fast? How will this affect our culture, our technical infrastructure, and our long-term growth? Instead of just chasing short-term success, she made sure hiring decisions were strategic, not reactive. She prioritized processes that ensured new employees integrated well rather than just adding headcount. She balanced fast growth with maintaining the company's core values, keeping communication strong, and making sure technical debt didn't spiral out of control. The result? The company scaled sustainably instead of collapsing under its own weight. Holistic decision-making also means integrating diverse perspectives before making a choice. I've seen leaders who only consult a small inner circle and miss out on valuable insights. The best decisions happen when leaders bring in multiple viewpoints: engineers, product managers, customer success teams, even frontline employees. When different departments collaborate, decisions align with the bigger picture, reducing conflicts and creating long-term solutions instead of short-term fixes. At the heart of this approach is a shift from linear to multidimensional thinking. Instead of asking, what's the fastest or cheapest way to solve this problem? Quantum leaders ask, what decision leads to the best overall outcome, balancing short-term needs with long-term sustainability? They recognize that shortcuts today can create roadblocks tomorrow, and investing in the right areas early on can prevent crises later. I've found that organizations thrive when leaders think beyond immediate results and ask, how does this decision affect our people, our culture, our future adaptability? The real question isn't just, does this work now? But does this set us up for long-term success? Holistic decision-making and employees as co-creators. Hi, let's go deeper into how holistic decision-making isn't just about strategy, it's about engaging employees as co-creators. The best leaders don't just make big-picture decisions on their own. They bring their teams into the process, allowing them to shape the future of the organization. Sarah, the startup manager I mentioned earlier, understood this at a fundamental level. When Sarah realized that scaling too fast could create communication breakdowns, technical debt, and cultural dilution, she didn't just sit in an executive meeting and decide everything herself. She took a co-creation approach, involving her employees in shaping how the company would grow in a way that worked for everyone. One of the first things she did was ask her team what challenges they foresaw with rapid scaling. Instead of assuming that leadership knew best, she gathered insights from engineers, designers, and customer success teams, the people who would be directly impacted by hypergrowth. The feedback was eye-opening. Engineers raised concerns about onboarding too many new hires at once, which could slow down development rather than speed it up. Customer success teams warned that rapid feature releases without proper training could confuse existing users. Taking this feedback seriously, Sarah adjusted the hiring strategy. Instead of bringing in dozens of new employees at once, she gradually expanded teams, ensuring proper mentorship and onboarding. She also gave existing employees the opportunity to shape how new hires integrated into the culture. Engineers were encouraged to design their own onboarding documentation and training processes. And senior employees were given the flexibility to mentor new hires in a way that felt natural, rather than just following a rigid HR checklist. Another example of how Sarah treated employees as co-creators was how she approached product development. Traditionally, leadership decides which features to build and teams execute. But Sarah knew that employees working closest to the product and customers had the best insights. Instead of relying solely on executive meetings, she started hosting regular product brainstorming sessions open to all employees, engineers, marketers, support staff, and designers. This wasn't just a suggestion box. It was an active, engaged discussion where people could pitch ideas, refine concepts, and shape the roadmap. Some of the company's best innovations came from employees who previously didn't have a seat at the table. One idea came from a junior customer success rep who had noticed a recurring complaint from users about a specific onboarding step. Instead of filing a ticket that might get lost, she had the chance to bring it up directly in the co-creation meetings. Engineers listened, proposed a simple UI fix, and within weeks, the problem was solved, reducing churn and improving customer retention. By making employees part of the decision-making process, Sarah transformed the company's culture. People felt like contributors, not just task followers. Employee engagement skyrocketed because they saw their ideas implemented rather than ignored. Instead of working at a company that told them what to do, they worked at a company they were helping build. This is the power of combining holistic decision-making with employee co-creation. It ensures that growth is sustainable, decisions reflect reality, and employees stay engaged in the mission. The real question is, are we making decisions in isolation, or are we inviting employees to co-create the future with us?